There's a church in the valley by the wildwood, no lovelier place in the dale. No spot is so dear to my childhood as the little brown church in the vale.
Good afternoon again, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So many things rolling around that Spirit has wanted me to talk about this week, and I know that it was yesterday or the day before, I thought, only 8 more weeks to Christmas.
Boo.
Exactly! That was my point. My first thought was not, yay! Because I love Christmas, but it was, the rolling of the eyes and the slug and the shrug and everything. And I thought, why does that happen? Why is my first response, because I know in my head, if I sit and dissect it, I'm saying, gotta do shopping, I gotta start planning the groceries and who needs what, and gotta buy stuff for them and this, and the obligations is the first thing that comes to mind, not the season. And we are on the doorstep of a holiday season right now. Halloween's around the corner, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, the big four. Right in a row there, 2 months where we're just slammed with holidays, doing, buying, shopping, decorating, etc., etc. And, like I said, I love Christmas. I do. I grew up loving Christmas, but Christmas isn't the same for an adult as it is for children. As a child, you just get a bunch of gifts, and maybe you're carted around places, but by and large, you get a lot of presents, and it's a lot of fun. And then you become a parent, and Christmas takes on a whole new meaning, because then it's the buying the gifts, and I want, and they always want the expensive things, and et cetera, et cetera. And then as you get even older, and maybe have grandkids, it becomes even different again, because then it becomes the season where you think, Dad isn't with us at the table again this year, or Mom's not here this year, or we lost Aunt Sally last year. It takes on an even different meaning. And I know for me, the holiday seasons have always been bittersweet because I notice the contrast. It's such a bright season of light that it always shines the light on the people who have less. It makes their loss seem so much more at that time of year, because those holiday seasons, the big milestones of the family, where you get the group photo of all the parents and their kids, and then eventually the grandkids and maybe even the great-grandkids all together, and every year there's one less person, or something has happened within the family, now with the opioid crisis being what it is, and so many people that have just gone away, or gone astray, or however that may be, there's quite a big epidemic out there, homelessness, joblessness, and whatnot. I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm saying it always makes me more appreciative for what I have when I realize that the people who don't have, or who have less, that they suffer so much more during those seasons. It's a lot harder to be happy when you've got kids and you're living on the street or couch surfing, trying to find your next place. And it makes me more appreciative for what I do have, and it also makes me want to reach out and be more compassionate with other people and realize that everyone is going through something. And the holiday seasons bring everything to a head. And then you're in the house with the same family that some of you don't get along so well. Those little things come up a lot more. So many different sides of this. I chose Here I Am, Lord, as the song before this, because for me, I love that song because it really does take it out of the hands of God. Fix this for me, will ya? And puts it back in my hands. What can I do? And in some cases, there's nothing you can do but sit at home and pray for someone. You can't go out and solve homelessness and joblessness and poverty and hunger. We can't individually solve all of that ourselves in a snap. So maybe there's people you can reach out to. Maybe there's people you can include into your family, bring them into the fold so that they're not sitting alone or they're not suffering, or, however you can help. Maybe it's just sitting at home and praying for them. Maybe it's sending them healing. Maybe it's just keeping them in your thoughts. It always makes me want to be more compassionate when I realize how truly lucky I am. I've got a great community here. And when I'm suffering and times are really hard, I know that I've got friends who understand and will be there for me to be a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen, or just send healing. And I never expect anyone to do any of that. They volunteer to do this. I'm very fortunate. I've got a good family, I've got good friends, I've got a good community. And not everyone is that lucky, and I know that. And I try to be that community for them. And likewise, standing up here, that's kind of my job, is to remind people we are each other's community. We are the spokespeople for God. We are the embodiment of the divine here on earth. And no, you can't solve everything yourself. And I would never suggest that anyone try. You know, that's a monumental undertaking, but in small ways, small contributions, small bits of time, even if you have neither, then prayer will do. You know, send them healing, send them love, just let them know you care. Sometimes that's all we can do, and sometimes that's enough. But keep these people in your heart. Let them know that you care, let them know that you love them, that you're out there for them. I think of those, like I said, I keep going back to, I think of those people that, you know, you sit around the table and you think, well, someone's not here this year. It's always so hard the first year, the second year. Christmas always stands out in my mind as that time when it's most obvious. Their presence is missed, even if they didn't pass around Christmas time. That's the time that their presence is missed, you know? And we all know they're there with us in spirit. We know that, being spiritualists. Many of us mediums who speak to people on the other side, we know that they still love us and they still walk with us and they don't want us to be unhappy for them. But we're human, and that's what we do. We miss them, you know? So during this time, just please be there for people if you can. And I know we all have stuff going on. It's hard for us to extend ourselves sometimes when you yourself are going through something. And if that's the case, please don't be afraid to speak up and say, I can't do any more right now. I've got a lot on my plate. I've got a lot going on. You don't have to give them your life story if you don't want to. But you can reach out and say, I just need a little extra help right now. I just need someone to listen to me. You know, I feel like we're a really good community here. You know, we try to be there for each other. Don't be afraid in this season to reach out if you need it. I'm not just advocating being the saint here and saying, I'll save all of you. I'll help you all. But also be willing to say, you know, I've got a lot going on right now. I'm under a lot of stress. These things are happening in my life, or, you know, maybe just I'm under a lot of stress, period. Could you listen? Could you just be in here for me? Could you say a prayer for me? Could you send healing? Enough said. No questions, no judgment. You know? We do so much for other people a lot of the time. I'm not suggesting that this is the only time you're, okay, everyone, time to stop being a slug and help people. No, it's not like that at all. It's that this is the time where it's most felt, and just please be aware of that. Some people are going through things, and maybe it's you. I know I'm going through a lot right now. And I've had very, very good people who've been there for me, to listen to me, to be compassionate about it. And that's meant the world to me. It really has. I just try to continue doing the best that I can. I can't be everything for everyone, but I know no one's asked me to either. So the other side of that is also with the holidays coming up. I find that we tend to, isn't it ironic, we put so much pressure on ourselves to buy the right gifts, to make sure that everyone's happy, that we take care of everyone's desires, wants. You know, so-and-so only likes ham, but so-and-so likes turkey, and this one has to have only it has to be silk, and this one only has to have china, and et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, I saw something online the other day, and I said, I really want to push that this year. Go for a simple holiday. Don't go into debt buying gifts for family and friends. Please don't do that to yourself. You know, if they don't love you because you didn't buy them a very expensive gift, at this point in time, don't. If being with family or friends or different groups is uncomfortable for you, causes you anxiety, and you know nothing good is going to come of it, don't go. Say no. I'm not coming. Choose another place to be. You know, if my family and I didn't get along, I would probably say, you know, I'm going to spend this holiday with my friends. It's perfectly okay to do, and I don't want to go, oh, breaking tradition. No, I'm setting a new tradition where I put myself and my own sanity and my health and my future as a priority. You know, how many years have we all spent buying the perfect gift because, you know, Aunt so-and-so will never have anything less than? It's important to prioritize our own mental health as well and our own well-being. So you all have permission to avoid those situations that will make you uncomfortable, make you unhappy, where nothing is served. And I speak from experience. I had to do this for many years. There's one family member that I do not get along with. We have a huge difference of opinion. And if we just didn't discuss it, we would be fine, but she always insisted on bringing it up and trying to change my mind about it. And I finally had to say to my mother, if she's coming, I'm not. I don't want that kind of drama. I don't want this holiday to be all about the two of us debating, because it's not debating, it's arguing. And neither of us is going to change our opinion. I would rather just not talk about it, but that doesn't seem to be happening. So for the sake of the entire family, I'd rather it was be more comfortable for everyone if I just didn't go. I'll opt out. And it made her very unhappy. She wanted the whole family together. And I said, I'm sorry. You know, until there can be a meeting of the minds where we agree to disagree and just stop, I'm not going to put myself through this every single time and leave there angry and upset and enraged because I bite my tongue and don't speak my truth so that there won't be drama for the family. I can't do that anymore. Luckily, we've managed to work it out. We agree to disagree now, we get along just fine, and we talk and we get together and have the family. But it took someone saying, I'm just not going to do it. Family is too valuable to me to be, because I am fortunate to have a good family, where I feel like most of us get along very, very well. It's too valuable to me. So many people don't have a good family to go to join for their holiday. I don't want it to become, you know, a three-ring circus, you know, WWE in the center of the living room there with the two of us arguing over something we disagree on. It's irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. We're here for Christmas, we're here for the family, we're not here to argue about our difference of opinion. If you differ with my opinion, talk to me on the phone, call me or something. Don't choose to do it here. This is not the time or the place. You know, and sometimes you have to set boundaries for yourself. That's okay too. The holidays really were not, they've become so much more, I feel, that they were ever intended to be. A wonderful, you think about how you thought of Christmas as a child, that wonderful sparkling time of year where everything was magical, kind of the Harry Potter world, you know? Things were magical and there'd be presents and there was singing and there was candy and candles and all kinds of wonderful things. And then you grow up and it's like, oh, it's packaging and it's purchasing and it's bundling and oh my God. Let's take our holiday back. Let's make it more simple. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy our holidays. You know, I guarantee if we all got together and instead of having big expensive gifts, we had made something for each other or gotten something small. One small gift instead of 18 very expensive gifts. I bet you we'd all still have a very good time. We'd still eat, we'd still tell stories, we'd still have a good time. And we wouldn't all be in debt for 4 months afterwards. We can do this. We can take back our holiday. We can take back ownership. And in the process, save our sanity so we have more of ourselves to offer to others. It's a win-win. I know that when I'm not frazzled, I have more of myself to give to others when they need an ear to listen to. It's helpful for me when I'm not already crazy on one side to be able to be there for them. So that's what I'm proposing this year. Let's take our holidays back. I'm not saying don't enjoy them. Certainly, if you can spend time with your family, and that's a good thing for all of you, then I absolutely advocate that. There are so many people that don't have family anymore. I do try to open my house. When I was in the military, I would often open my house to veterans nearby who didn't have family to go to for holidays. You know, now we work with an elementary school, and we have a Veterans Day where we invite all the veterans in, and we offer them breakfast, and we honor them. Small, of course, not just me alone. These are organizations, so it's not just like me, autonomously, but I try to be involved with these kind of things, and sometimes it's just not possible. When I was younger, it wasn't possible. I didn't have the money, I didn't have the time, I was just barely making ends meet. But now that I can, I do. You know, and if I don't have the money or the time to, I don't know, send prayers and healing. There's always some small thing that we can do to make someone else's life better. And I think if we focused our attention, or our intention, on doing the small things we can do, it would just make everything just that little much better. You know, like I said, no one has to go out and be a saint, save the world, stop poverty, feed all of the homeless. It's wonderful, and I would love to see that happen, but I don't expect any one individual to do it alone. So look for the small ways in every day that you can help somebody. And I say this and I'll say it again, you know, little things, holding the door for someone, buying someone a cup of coffee, smiling at someone who's having a bad day. These are very basic, simple things, but at the holidays when everyone is absolutely frazzled and retail workers are ready to hang themselves, been there. That smile means so much more. It really does. They're already at the end of their rope and doing what they can to get by. They wouldn't choose to work retail if they had other options, because I've done it. It's not a pleasant place to be. But a lot of people are in that boat. They're doing things that they would really rather not be doing in that moment, just to get by. Please be aware everyone is going through their own thing, and the holidays just ramps everything up. I want everyone to have many wonderful holidays. Keep your own sanity, take it back, and share it with others. That's my message for today. Have a great one. Many holidays. Halloween's next. Candy, candy, candy.